You're sitting in a dimly lit bar, nursing a drink, watching her laugh with someone else across the room. Your chest tightens, and your mind races. If I just say the right thing, maybe she'll notice me. You've been here before, haven't? You're replaying every word you could have said, every move you could have made, hoping for a glance, a smile, anything. You're chasing, and deep down, you know it's a losing game. Every text you send, every compliment you force, every second you spend trying to impress hurts like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in it. You're bleeding effort, and she's slipping further away. I've been there too, staring at a phone screen, waiting for a reply that never comes. It's brutal. But here's the thing, you don't need to keep running this hamster wheel. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stop chasing women and start commanding their respect without losing yourself in the process. Let's paint a picture. You're at a party, music thumping, people crowded around. She's there, sharp eyes, quick smile, the kind of woman who makes every guy in the room adjust his posture. You spot her talking to some dude who's clearly trying too hard, leaning in, laughing too loud. You think, I'm not like that guy. But then you catch yourself straightening your shirt, rehearsing a line in your head, wondering how to get her attention. Stop right there. That's the moment you're already losing. You're not losing because she's out of your league, or because you're not enough. You're losing because you're playing her game, not yours. The psychology here is simple but brutal. When you chase, you signal desperation. Desperation screams low value. And women, whether they admit it or not, are wired to respect strength that comes from a man who doesn't need her approval to feel whole. Picture yourself walking up to her, not with a script, but with nothing to prove. You say something simple, maybe, you look like you're enjoying this chaos. No agenda, no need for her to laugh or respond. You're calm, grounded, like you belong in the room as much as anyone. If she engages, great. If she doesn't, you're already moving on, unbothered. The power lies in your indifference, not fake, cold indifference, but the real kind, the kind that says, I'm here, I'm good, and I don't need you to validate me. This is the first piece of the puzzle. Stop chasing by owning your own space. When you stop seeking her reaction, you start dictating the interaction. She feels it. Everyone does. Now let's break down why chasing feels so natural. You've been taught this. Movies, songs, even your buddies, they all push this idea that women want a guy who'll bend over backward, who'll shower them with attention, who'll fight for her. Bullshit. That's a script for a rom-com, not real life. Think about the last time you sent a girl a long, thoughtful text, pouring your heart out. What happened? She ghosted, or worse, gave you a half-assed thanks and moved on. That's because chasing puts her on a pedestal. You're telling her she's the prize, and you're just a contestant scrambling for her approval. The psychology behind this is primal. People value what's scarce, what's hard to get. When you're always available, always texting back in seconds, always ready to drop everything for her, you're not scarce, you're common, and common gets ignored. Imagine a different scene. You're out with friends, having a good time, not scanning the room for her. She texts you, and you don't jump to reply. You're in the middle of a conversation, laughing, living your life. Maybe you respond an hour later, maybe not at all, if the vibe's off. You're not playing games, you're just not orbiting her. This shift changes everything. She starts wondering, why isn't he chasing me? What's he doing? Who's he with? That's when the dynamic flips. She's not stupid, she can sense when a guy's world doesn't revolve around her. And that's what pulls her in. It's not manipulation, it's just human nature. People chase what retreats. Here's where most guys screw up. They think they need to do more to win her over. More compliments, more dates, more effort. Wrongdoing, more just digs you deeper into the nice guy trap. You're not her therapist, her cheerleader, or her puppy. You're a man with your own life, your own goals, your own fire. The challenge is to act like it. Try this today. Next time you're tempted to text her first, don't wait. Let her come to you. If she doesn't, that's your answer. She's not worth your energy. But if she does, you've already set the frame. You're not chasing, you're choosing. And that choice is what makes her respect you. You want to know what respect looks like. It's not her fawning over you or texting you nonstop. It's subtler. It's the way she looks at you when you say no to something she wants and she doesn't push back. It's the way she asks about your day, not because she's polite, but because she's genuinely curious. It's the way she steps into your world instead of expecting you to orbit hers. But you don't get that by chasing. You get it by building a life so solid, so unshakable, that she can't help but want to be part of it. That's where we're going next. How to create that kind of life, one that makes chasing unnecessary. You're standing in the middle of your life, and it's a mess. Maybe your job's fine, but you're coasting, scrolling through your phone at night, wondering why you feel so damn empty. You think a woman's going to fill that void, don't you? That's what you've been told. Find the right girl, and everything clicks into place. Wrong. That's the myth that keeps you chasing, keeps you begging for scraps of attention. The raw truth is this. No woman respects a man whose life is a placeholder for her. You want her to look at you like you're somebody, then be somebody, not for her, but for you. The kind of man who commands respect doesn't build his world Around a woman he builds a world so compelling she wants to step into it. Picture yourself a year from now. You've got a routine that's yours, not some half-assed attempt to impress anyone. You're hitting the gym, not because you want to flex for her, but because you respect your own body. You're working on something, maybe a side hustle, a skill, a passion that lights you up. You're not just killing time, you're building something. Now imagine her in this picture. She's at your place, watching you move through your world with purpose. You're not fawning over her, not tripping over yourself to keep her entertained. You're just you, and that's enough. Why? Because a man with a life he owns doesn't need to chase, he attracts. The psychology here is brutal, but clear. Women are drawn to men who are complete without them. Let's tear down another lie. You've heard that women want a nice guy who's always there, always attentive, always putting her first. That's a trap. Being nice doesn't mean being spineless. Imagine you're out with her, and she suggests something you don't want to do. Maybe it's a movie you hate, or a plan that doesn't fit your vibe. The old you would have said, sure, whatever you want, thinking it'd make her like you more. But that's not respect. That's surrender. Instead, try this. Say, nah, I'm not feeling that. Let's do this instead. Be calm, not regressive. You're not arguing, you're leading. She might push back, test you a little. That's fine. Hold your ground. You're not being a jerk. You're being a man who knows what he wants. That's what respect looks like in action. Here's a story to drive it home. I knew a guy, let's call him Mike, who was the king of chasing. He'd meet a girl, and within a week, he was texting her good morning, planning elaborate dates, basically handing her his entire schedule. He thought he was being romantic. What he was being was predictable. One day, he met this woman, smart, gorgeous, the kind who could smell desperation a mile away. Mike started his usual routine, but she went cold fast. No replies, no interest. He was crushed, but instead of doubling down, he did something different. He stopped texting her. He started focusing on himself, got into boxing, picked up a new project at work, started saying no to things that didn't serve him. A month later, she texted him out of the blue. Hey, where have you been? He didn't jump to reply. When he did, it was short, casual, like he hadn't been waiting by the phone. They met up, and this time, she was different, engaged, curious, leaning into him. Why? Because Mike wasn't chasing anymore. He was living. The mistake most guys make is thinking they need her to complete them. You don't. You're not a puzzle with a missing piece. You're a whole damn picture, and your job is to make that picture worth looking at. Start small if you have to. Pick one thing you've been putting off. Maybe it's learning a skill, fixing your diet, or just cleaning up your place so it's not a disaster. Do it for you, not to impress her. Every step you take toward owning your life is a step away from chasing. And here's the kicker. When you stop chasing, you start choosing. You get to decide who's worth your time, who gets to step into your world. That's power. Now, let's talk about what happens when you're not chasing. You're going to feel at the pull to text her, to check her story, to see if she's thinking about you. That's your brain fighting to stay in the old pattern. Fight back harder. Delete the app if you have to. Fill your time with things that make you feel alive. Call up a friend you haven't seen in a while. Read something that challenges you. Hit the gym and leave your phone in the locker. Every time you resist the urge to chase, you're rewiring yourself. You're teaching your brain that you don't need her validation to feel good. And the more you do this, the more natural it feels soon. You're not even thinking about her unless she's earned it. What's the payoff? It's not just her respect. It's bigger than that. It's the way people start treating you differently. Friends, coworkers, strangers. They sense it. You're not a guy who's begging for approval. You're a man who knows his worth. And when she sees that, when she feels that you're not going to bend just to keep her around, she'll start chasing you. Not because you tricked her, but because you became the kind of man she can't ignore. That's where we're headed next. How to hold that frame, how to stay unshakable. No matter what she throws at you. You're in the middle of a conversation with her, and she throws a curveball. Maybe she teases you about something small. Your shirt, your taste in music, whatever. Your instinct kicks in. Laugh it off. Agree with her. Keep the vibe light. You think, if I roll with it, she'll like me more. Wrong. That's the old you. The one who'd bend over backward to avoid rocking the boat. The new you doesn't flinch. You look her in the eye, smirk, and say, you're gonna have to try harder than that. Not mean, not defensive, just calm, like her words didn't dent you. That's the moment she feels it. You're not a pushover, you're not chasing her approval. You're a man who can handle her without breaking a sweat. That's the frame you need to hold, and it's not about faking it, it's about building it from the inside out. Let's smash a myth. You don't need to be perfect to stop chasing. You don't need a six-pack, a corner office, or a flawless one-liner for every situation. Perfection is just another pedestal, and pedestals are for suckers. The truth is messier. Women respect a man who's real, who owns his flaws but doesn't let them define him. Think about the last time you saw a guy who seemed untouchable, not because he was flawless, but because he didn't care if you saw his cracks. Maybe he told a story about screwing up at work, but he laughed it off, not because he was hiding, but because he knew it didn't make him less. That's the vibe you're aiming for. It's not about being bulletproof, it's about being unbreakable. Here's how you start. Step 1. Own your space. You're not just a guy in the room, you're the guy who belongs there. Imagine you're at a coffee shop, waiting for her to show up. She's late, and your phone's buzzing with notifications. The old you would be glued to it, checking if she texted, maybe sending a "where you at" message to fill the silence. Don't put the phone down. Look around. Notice the barista moving like she's got the whole place under control. Watch the guy in the corner reading a book, unbothered by the noise. You're part of this scene, not a nervous kid waiting for his date to validate him. When she walks in, you're not jumping up to greet her like a puppy. You nod, maybe smile, and let her come to you. That's not arrogance, it's presence. You need to carry that presence everywhere, because it's the foundation of everything else. Step 2. Stop filling the silence. Most guys chase by talking too much, trying to keep her entertained, like she's a judge scoring your performance. You don't need to do that. Silence is your friend. Next time you're with her, try this. Say less than you think you should. If she asks you a question, answer it, but don't ramble. Let the moment breathe. Maybe she'll squirm a little, wondering why you're not jumping to impress her. Good. That's her feeling your frame. The psychology here is simple. People fill gaps with their own thoughts. When you're not oversharing, she's wondering who you are, what you're thinking, what makes you tick. That's when she starts investing in you, not the other way around. Here's a quick story to nail it down. I knew a guy, let's call him Alex, who was a chronic chaser. He'd meet a woman and turn into her personal entertainer, cracking jokes, telling stories, anything to keep her smiling. One night, he was out with this girl he really liked, and he caught himself slipping into that old pattern. Mid-sentence, he stopped. Just shut up. She looked at him, waiting for the punchline, but he just leaned back, sipped his drink, and let the silence hang. "What's up with you?" she said, half laughing, half curious. He shrugged, just enjoying the moment. That was it. No big speech, no clever comeback. The rest of the night, she was the one talking, asking him questions, leaning in closer. Why? Because he stopped chasing and started leading? He set the tone, and she followed. The common mistake here is thinking you need her to like you right away. You don't. Respect isn't about being liked, it's about being seen. If you're always chasing, always trying to win her over, she'll never see you. She'll see a guy who's trying too hard, and that's not the same thing. Your challenge is to catch yourself in those moments when you're about to chase, when you're about to text her twice in a row, or explain yourself, or laugh at something that's not funny. Stop. Pull back. Ask yourself, am I doing this for her, or for me? If it's for her, you're chasing. Cut it out. Every time you choose yourself instead, you're building that unshakable frame. What does this look like in practice? It's you saying no to plans that don't fit your life. It's you walking away from a conversation that's going nowhere. Not because you're mad, but because your time's worth more. It's you living with such clarity that she can't help but notice you're different. And when she does, when she starts chasing you, because she will, don't fall back into the trap. Don't start texting her good morning or bending your schedule to fit hers. Keep your frame, keep your life. That's the man she respects, the one she can't manipulate, the one she'll never forget. You don't get her respect by chasing her. You get it by never needing to chase in the first place.